Seattle, Washington, nationally known for its steady rainfall, grunge rock music, computer software, and pungent coffee. Since 1976, Seattle has also been the home of the most anonymous team in the National Football League. As they entered their 30th season of existence, the Seattle Seahawks were still looking for their first championship. Tucked away in the Pacific Northwest, far from the major media centers, geography and consistent mediocrity had made the Seahawks pro football's invisible men. Regrettably, this vanishing act had also carried over in an alarming run of quick playoff exits.
The left side, it's intercepted. Touchdown, Packers. The Seahawks season is over.
He throws, touchdown! Yeah! No! Incomplete!
And we just lost a tough playoff game, and I was pretty much had it. In this business, patience, you don't see it very often. And it's tough sometimes to put together the right combination to win on a consistent basis.
We'd had a series of playoff losses, and when I met with Mike, I could sense that he was discouraged by that and the fact that he hadn't been able to take the franchise as far as we thought we could take it. I stuck with Mike. I believed in Mike. I just felt we needed somebody to complement Mike that really had the same kind of football personnel mind and could focus on that. So I made that decision and was very, very lucky to get Tim Ruskell.
And I'm also here to unify this group and this front office and these coaches and these players to exceed beyond their expectations and set the standards where everybody's got a common focus on the goal. And that's putting the best team out every year capable of winning the Super Bowl. And that's what we'll do.
Ruskell moved quickly to change the culture of the Seattle roster. He sent malcontents packing and replaced them with battle-tested, team-oriented players. Through free agency and the college draft, athletes were acquired whose no-nonsense approach would transform the Seahawks into an NFL power.
That has worked out great, and Tim was able to bring in players that complemented exactly the kinds of things and the approach Mike wanted to take and exactly the kind of things Mike wanted to do.
That's right. Stay calm up there, you guys, okay? Stay loose.
Green right, box 2 run, double catch.
By the end of training camp, the revitalized Seahawks couldn't wait for the season to start.
Good job, Bo. Good job, Bo.
Okay, that was an excellent practice today. I thought the movement, the enthusiasm, okay, the competitiveness was very, very, very good.
Good practice, Dave. Super Bowl, right? 1, 2, 3, Super Bowl!
Seattle's road to Super Bowl 40 began under the blazing Florida sun. Despite oppressive humidity and an on-field temperature of 115 degrees, a pair of touchdown passes gave the Seahawks a halftime lead.
Good protection. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown Seahawks. Darrell Jackson at the goal line.
But the Hawks wilted under the heat in the second half. Matt Hasselbeck tossed the only road game interceptions he would throw all season, and the Jaguars took advantage.
Plenty of time in the pocket. Turgeon fires. He's looking for a man. He's got a touchdown. Jimmy Smith. And the Jaguars are back up on top.
The environment was much friendlier for the home opener at Quest Field. Most of the heat this time was generated by Seattle's defense, which sported 8 new starters from the previous year. While Michael Vick ran for his life, Seattle's offense ran up a 3-touchdown lead. But visions of a blowout victory vanished after the Falcons rallied to within a field goal, then got the ball back in the final minutes.
Down the far sidelines, the ball is knocked down. It goes over to the Seahawks. The ball is knocked down by Kenny Hamlin on the far sidelines, right at midfield. And that It looks like the Seahawks are going to win their home opener.
The following week was a day for coaches old and new. The fans welcomed the return of Ring of Honor inductee Chuck Knox, architect of Seattle's playoff teams from the 1980s. Also on hand was defensive coordinator Ray Rhodes, still recovering from a mild stroke. Mapping the strategy in his place was linebackers coach John Marshall, and his play calls kept the visiting Cardinals from scoring a single touchdown.
Warner is in trouble. He's hit and he's dropped. And Bryce Fisher hit him right in the chin strap and knocked him on his wallet.
McCown steps out, runs near side. Ooh, he got hit hard. His helmet came flying off.
McCown is in trouble. Ball is out. He's hit in the backfield. Pick it up. Seahawks are still stumbling. They fall on it, and they down it at the 1-yard line.
Finding the end zone was no problem for Sean Alexander, who breezed past Arizona defenders for a quartet of touchdowns.
Sean goes left. Sean punches it in. Touchdown, Seahawks.
This guy is something else.
And Sean finds the end zone for the 4th time today.
Seattle's next opponent, the unbeaten Washington Redskins.
Kick off cover like you never covered before. No room for nothing. Let's go. Don't give them no room for nothing. Don't stay. Hey, don't go offside now. Hit on 3. 1, 2, 3.
The Seahawks defense slammed the door on Washington, holding them scoreless through most of the first half.
Brunell under a lot of heat. He's going to get sacked at the 21-yard line. And he had no time whatsoever.
You know what? That's bad. Go. You play your ass off. You keep playing. You got it? I don't want you to slow down. Speed it up.
A fast tempo seemed to benefit the Redskins more as they jumped to a 14-3 third-quarter lead.
Let's go. Let's go. It's supposed to be tough. They're home. But we're going to kick their ass.
First and 10 Seattle. They really need a score here to try to keep pace.
No way.
Not going to happen.
Obviously, the Redskins broadcasting team hadn't been watching much game film of Sean Alexander.
Return the hand to Sean. He's going right. He's inside the goal line. Touchdown, Seahawks. As Sean Alexander barrels over the top of his guard, Steve Hutchinson.
That's a nice job, man. That is a great job. That's a great job on your part. It's all yours. Let's go get it now. Let's go take this thing, all right?
Don't adjust that route. If he goes inside, jumps inside, go over the top of it. Okay, like playing like he's playing cover 7. Go over the top of him. Then he loses you. Okay? All right.
Clock is ticking. 1:30 to play in the game. That's going to throw, fires to the middle of the field. Touchdown, Seahawks. And they've tied it up 17 all.
Everybody do the job, and we'll kick that ass, okay? That's all we got to do. Guys cover, guys up front's going to rush, okay? Just one guy, one heartbeat. It's all of us together, okay?
You don't want to make any mistakes here. You haven't made any mistakes all day.
Over the middle, off the fingertips of Portis. Intercepted at the 30-yard line by Seattle.
Herndon makes the interception, and it's deep in Redskins territory already.
With just seconds to go, the Seahawks could steal the win from Washington.
A 47-yard attempt. The spot. The kick is up. The kick hits the upright on the left side and bounces off. We were within the width of the upright of winning this football game, and now it heads into overtime.
One of those games.
Seattle missed its kick. Washington made theirs, and the Seahawks record fell to 2-2.
I was proud of our guys, the way they hung in there on the road and under tough conditions. And you know, it's early in the season, and we lost 2 tough games on the road. We got to win a couple of these once in a while.
Winning was about to become a habit with the Seahawks. They would not lose another game for the next 3 months. Under the arch of the archenemy Rams, the Seahawks focused on their division rivals as Seattle sought its first win in St. Louis since 1997.
We love playing St. Louis. We love it. We don't like it. We love it. Like a second home. I don't think anybody appreciates the importance of this game. This is for number one. This is our rival. This is the team we got to go and beat.
A year ago, Seattle lost 3 games to the Rams. It was payback time.
Right, now he scrambles out of the pocket. Now he lets it fly, and he's got a man downfield. He's got a catch. It's Joe Juravicius down the left sideline. Joe Juravicius stretches out and makes the catch. A broken play, but a 52-yard gain for the Hawks.
Hey, good job, man. Good pickup.
Both of the Seahawks starting wideouts were sidelined with injuries. It didn't matter.
Jeremy Stevens is running wide open, and he makes the catch from Matt Hasselbeck, a 29-yard score, and the Seahawks offense right now simply can't be stopped.
As expected, the Rams made it a shootout, but Seattle matched them pass for pass.
22 scat Texas, Matt. Here we go. Be ready for 2 minutes. We got 3 timeouts.
Joe Juravicius with another big catch as he runs away from the Rams secondary.
In the second half, the Seahawk defense shut down St. Louis.
He's going to throw right down the seam and into the hands of Lufa Tutupu, who makes the interception.
You know, in the NFL, you can get up and run again.
This ain't college.
I thought I got tagged out.
Hell no. You showed me no athleticism when you got up.
You see that catch?
The catch was good. He made it look spectacular.
Yeah, he added a little extra on it.
Sean Alexander added an extra element of his own with another 100-yard performance and a pair of touchdowns.
Touchdown Seahawks, Sean Alexander. 18 yards. Sean Alexander, when he gets near the goal lines, he can sniff out that end zone.
His eyes get bigger, his legs get stronger, something happens.
Way to sell it, way to get it inside.
Seattle clinched the win when their French-Canadian long snapper, Jean-Philippe Darche, made a play that was très magnifique.
The catch is made at the 40-yard line. This is by Sean McDonald, who fumbles the football. J.P. Darche falls on the ball, and oh my goodness, special teams come up big.
Finally got that monkey off our back. God. Beat the Rams in St. Louis.
I thought today was a great game for a lot of reasons. Important division win. I've never been more proud of a group in my life. I took high school Spanish, but I want to say merci beaucoup for recovering the fumble in French.
That's in French. Win sur 3. 1, 2, 3. Win! English! Speak English, goddammit! Again in French. 1, 2, 3. Win!
You are never allowed to break it down again.
The celebration continued in a Sunday night showcase against the Texans. All-pro tackle Walter Jones and the rest of the NFL's best offensive line put on a clinic, gashing out cavernous holes against helpless Houston. When the dust settled, Sean Alexander had 4 more touchdowns, and the Seahawks set a franchise record with 320 rushing yards.
Look for Sean, he gets it. He's going to go right this time. Cuts it back inside. He's inside the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown Seahawks. What night is it, baby? It's Sunday night, and Sean Alexander knows where that end zone is.
All season long, that pathway to pay dirt would be paid by the blocking of Jones, Steve Hutchinson, Robbie Tobeck, Chris Gray, and Sean Locklear.
Can't overemphasize how important it is for me to have a veteran offensive line like I do. Those guys are real smart guys. They're making calls, we're making calls, we're communicating a lot. We had some big plays today because we were able to execute the game plan. The coaches put a lot on those offensive linemen. The stereotype of the dumb offensive lineman is not true on our team. Probably true on other teams, but not our team.
You puff on the Magic Dragon before every practice. That's because I got asthma. Oh, you think you got asthma. It's a mental, Chris. You don't have asthma. So I gotta die. You are a hypochondriac. You're a hypochondriac.
Hasselbeck affectionately calls the unit the grumpy old men. But on this night, the only people feeling grumpy or old were on Houston's overmatched defense.
The Hawks are just getting chunks of yardage in the running game. They're pretty much able to do anything they want to do right now. They're just taking it right down their throats and punishing this football team.
Next up, the other Texas NFL team, led by Pacific Northwest native Drew Bledsoe. It was not the happy homecoming he was expecting.
I think I got a good run pass. When we gave him inside, okay, the tackles are squeezing, so you can give a little fake down inside and work back out and help you guys on the edge, okay? Yeah. All right?
Bledsoe's going to throw. He's in trouble. He's hit. He's pulled down by Fisher. Bryce Fisher has become a sacking machine for the Seahawks.
Bledsoe back 5. Little time now, hit, now sack. Petiti lost his block on Bryce Fisher for the second time today.
Fisher wasn't the only Seahawk defender bothering Bledsoe.
Plays it over the top to Terry Glenn. The ball is tipped up again and almost caught. It's picked off. It's coming up the far sidelines as Boulware. As finally the Seahawks are able to hang on to one.
Heads up play by Michael Boulware. Big turnaround for the Seahawks.
It slithered right through Terry Glenn's hands and off his shirt. Right off of Glenn's hand. Plucked literally off the ground by Boulware. A brilliant interception.
Dallas held a 7-point lead deep into the fourth quarter until a Seahawks rally tied the game with just 40 seconds to play.
Matthews going to throw. Lays it up over the top. Diving in the end zone. Touchdown Seahawks. Brian Hanna.
Bledsoe tried for a hometown boy makes good ending, but Jordan Babineau ruined that storyline.
It's intercepted by the Seahawks. Here comes Babineau off the sidelines. Unbelievable turn of events.
Enough time remained for Seattle to write its own happy ending.
This is for the game winner. The snap. The kick is up. The kick is good. The kick is good. The Seahawks win on the last play of the game. Josh Brown, a 50-yard field goal. After the interception, they are going nuts at Quest Field.
And how fitting is it that Josh Brown is the guy to win this football game? He had this same opportunity earlier in the season against the Washington Redskins, and that ball hit the upright. Today he comes in from 50 yards. What a great ball game. What a great finish for the Seattle Seahawks as they go into their bye week.
Casting a long shadow in the Valley of the Sun, Matt Hasselbeck made an early impression on the opposing Cardinals with pass plays as pretty as the Arizona desert. Hasselbeck also chipped in with first-half scores on the ground and in the air.
Play fake by Matthew. He rolls right, looking for somebody to throw to, steps in the end zone. Touchdown Seahawks. Matt takes his time, drops back 3, looks right. Fire to the end zone. Touchdown Seahawks.
The defense kept the Cardinals grounded with 3 interceptions and 4 sacks. But Arizona quarterbacks weren't the only ones feeling queasy. Sean Alexander left late in the second quarter after he was overcome by tummy trouble.
The first half was just rough. You know, every time I tackled, I felt like either going to throw up or go the other way. So halftime, really, I just came in here and hung out.
Whatever measures Alexander took in the locker room while hanging out seemed to cure what ailed him.
It was funny because I called that before I came out there. I was telling the mayor, said, yeah, I feel a little bit lighter now, so watch me break the first run. And it's always good whenever you're cracking jokes like that, and it works.
On the first play of the second half, Alexander tied his own record for the longest run in franchise history.
Here he goes. They're going to catch him. 25, 10, 5, touchdown Seahawks. 88 yards. What a run by Sean.
Alexander added another score late in the game to seal a vital win in the division, a division they would all but clinch if they could beat the Rams.
At stake, really, the division title.
I'm mad because they think they got the championship locked up. This is our division. Always has been, always will. Let's go win it today. They still don't have anything to stop for it. Go out there and earn it today.
Kind of hazy here at Quest Field. Rained a lot this morning.
Despite the fog, the Seahawks' mission was clear: hurdle any obstacle to beat the Rams. In the first half, the Rams were held to 3 points.
On 2nd and 10, here's the blitz against Bulger. He's going down. Mark Bulger sacked. That is Leroy Hill, the rookie linebacker.
After conventional calls failed, St. Louis turned to trickery.
Now it's a fake. They throw it to Wilkie. He's in trouble, and Jeff Wilkins is going nowhere. And the Rams come away with nothing.
Seattle took over on downs, then took over the game with an 88-yard drive. It was capped by Alexander, who put his team in the lead and himself in the record book.
Sean's going to go left. Gets in behind his blockers. Bounces it outside. Stiff arms. Sean Alexander has now become the first player in NFL history with 15 or more touchdowns in 5 consecutive seasons.
The front line opened huge holes for their star back, and his second touchdown was followed by another Seattle score just minutes later.
Matt's got time. Lays it up over the top. Has a man wide open. DJ Hackett. Touchdown Seahawks.
Hey, we got to keep pounding their ass.
This is the best Seattle team we have seen since realignment.
They lead the Rams 24-6.
Seattle's defense had let leads slip away against St. Louis in the past, and a fourth quarter score cut the Rams' deficit to 8. But these Seahawks were birds of a different feather. This time, there would be no fourth quarter collapse.
With a first down here, the game is over. Then the Seahawks can wind down the clock. Sean gets it going left, pops outside. He's inside the 10, inside the 5. Touchdown Seahawks! How about them apples, baby?
33 carries for 165 yards for Sean Alexander.
Don't break the chain. Hold on to the guy next to you. He trusts you. You trust him. And then you yourself give it everything you have on that field, and you did that. And from now on, okay, we're going to take the pads off at practice.
No pads on 3. 1, 2, 3. No
Mike Holmgren was still smiling a week later in San Francisco while greeting his mentor, Hall of Fame coach Bill Walsh. And the Seahawks kept their boss in a jovial mood for most of the afternoon by staying a step ahead of the underdog 49ers. But a late Niners rally cut the lead to 2, and overtime appeared just one play away.
It's just a matter of somebody stepping up and making a play and keeping this ball out of the end zone.
Dorsey's going to throw. The ball hits the ground, incomplete, and the Seahawks have dodged a bullet.
You know, you got to win a game like this. You go in and everyone's talking about it during the week, what a lopsided game it could be. And I think the players are human beings, you know. But we did some good things, and the important thing is we won another game, a division game, on the road, and now we're 8-2. So we can go home and feel good about that, and then get ready for next week.
The first-place Giants came to town in what would prove to be the most critical home game of the regular season. The Seahawks would get a jump start from the 12th man and a timely first-quarter play call.
2 or 3 jet, Matt, whatever you want to do. Let's go now. Eagle, arrow, E-cross. Big eagle.
Matt, 7-step drop, lots of time. To the middle of the field, up for grabs. Ball is caught, touchdown Seahawks! What a catch by Joe Juravicius. Had a defensive back all over him.
The Giants scored the next 13 points, but then hit the wall against the Seahawk defense.
Giants on the move. Manning's going to throw. Looks deep down the right side, lays it up. Picked off. Michael Boulware coming up the left side. Across the 30, the 35. Finally knocked out of bounds in front of the Seahawks bench. And the Seahawks defense comes up with a big play.
Here we go. Regular, pass 312, double quick hitch.
A first down for the Hawks at the Giants' 16-yard line. Play fake to Mo. Matthew rolls right, throws back to his left. In the end zone, touchdown Seahawks! Joe Juravicius on the crossing route. A 16-yard touchdown reception.
Great throw by Hasselbeck.
Way to go, brother. Joe, great route.
The Seahawks now had the lead, and the Questfield faithful knew exactly what to do.
Trying to quiet the crowd here. Can't do that.
The towels are out. The fans going nuts.
I'll tell you something about this crowd and about this Seahawks team. They utilize this crowd. It's called the 12th people, or whatever it's called. But boy, I tell you, they're on fire.
As the offense having a tough time hearing because of the noise from the 12th man.
Manning takes the snap.
They're going to call illegal motion again. Guard, I think it was the left guard deal.
False start offense number 66. That's 9 false starts.
It's going to be a trivia question down the road.
New York's offensive line couldn't stay on side or protect their quarterback.
Manning is sacked. Rocky Bernard gets to it. His 8.5 sack on the year.
He's second in the league in sacks by an interior lineman.
Matt, we're going to go regular, wide open, 95.
4th and inches at the Giant 4.
Sean gets it. Goes over the left side, spins, gets down inside. Let's see the arms, Mr. Official.
Yes.
Now it is. Touchdown Seahawks.
That was nothing but determination and effort as he stretches that ball across for a touchdown.
The Seahawks led 21-13 with barely 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. The crowd was deafening and celebrating until a Giants touchdown silenced the stadium. New York tied the score at 21, then had a chance to win with 4 seconds on the clock.
It will be a 40-yard field goal. This is for the win. Jay Feely of the New York Giants. The snap, the spot, the kick is up, and the kick is no good! He missed it wide left, and we're going to go to overtime.
New York's kicker then blew 2 more field goal attempts in the extra period. The reprieves gave Seattle another chance, and they would not squander it.
Zebra, 3-jet dancer, fullback burst.
Giants with some rush. Matt throws downfield. He's got a man. Hackett's got it. Across midfield to the 40-yard line. A perfect pass. DJ Hackett with a clutch catch, and the Seahawks are now starting to get close.
The Giants' kicking failures made Josh Brown a hero.
The kick is up. The kick is good. And the Seahawks in overtime win it 24-21.
Tell you what, you are a resilient bunch. I will say that. Nice going, you know, in the overtime, because it looked a little grim there a couple, 3 times, and you guys never 5 times. But you know what? I think it's a real mark of this football team that you will fight and you will battle to the last ounce of strength you have and the last second on the clock. And you know, this game against a really fine football team, I think it tells a lot about who we are.
In chilly Philly, Seahawks scores were nearly as numerous as the snowflakes that fell on Lincoln Financial Field.
Hasselbeck had enough time so that Ingram came unglued and found a way to get open.
He had enough time to read a book.
Ironically, the defense tallied as many touchdowns as the offense.
Ball is picked off. Coming the other way inside the 40. Andre Dyson's going to go. They're not going to get him. Andre Dyson steps in front of the intended receiver and goes 70 yards with a touchdown interception.
Seattle limited the defending NFC champions to under 200 total yards. The national TV audience also got acquainted with rookie sensation Lofa Tatupu.
2nd and 4 from his own 34. McMahon throws, intercepted again. It's Tatupu. He's inside the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown Seahawks. 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns for the Seahawks. A 34-yard return. Lofa Tatupu, welcome to the NFL, baby.
The Eagles' misery index only worsened as Seattle's defense continued its dominance, holding an opponent scoreless for the first time since 2003.
He is hit in the backfield. He fumbles the football. It's picked up, and running in with it is Andre Dyson for his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the fans can't even get back from the concession stand. The Seahawks have scored again over their Eagles.
The end result was the most lopsided shutout win in the history of Monday Night Football. The weather was much improved the following week in Seattle, but the results were just about the same against the outmanned 49ers.
Hasselbeck rolling out to his right, under some pressure, throws as a man to the goal line, caught by Ingram. Touchdown, Seattle.
Hasselbeck tossed the season-high 4 touchdowns as the Seahawks swept their division for the first time in team history.
Going for the home run to the back of the end zone. Catch is made. Touchdown, Seahawks. Joe Jurevicius in the back corner of the end zone.
The victory earned Seattle its 9th straight win, a franchise record. That winning streak was in jeopardy at Nashville when Steve McNair led Tennessee to a 24-14 advantage late in the 3rd quarter. But momentum quickly changed when the Seahawk defense turned back the Titans on a 4th down gamble.
Brown slides down the line of scrimmage, hit in the backfield. I don't think he's going to make it. Great defensive play by the Seahawks.
What a job by those linebackers and the strong safety.
Gosh, they were just relentless right there.
Energized by the defensive stand, Seattle's offense rolled to a pair of late scores, clinching the team's best road record since 1984.
Matt turns, play fake, throws it out into the flat. He's got Darrell Jackson who stiff arms a man and gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks.
With the win, the NFC West champions earned a 1st-round bye and could wrap up home field advantage with one more victory. That was the present Seahawks fans hoped Santa would deliver on Christmas Eve. To do it, Seattle would have to knock off Peyton Manning and the 13-1 Indianapolis Colts. Eagles pushed across a field goal on their opening drive. But the Seahawks stormed back, sparked by a kick return from Josh Scobie.
The 35 turns upfield, across midfield, down the sidelines, and knocked out of bounds. Josh Scobie, a terrific return of 45 yards.
Colts All-Pro defender Dwight Freeney never got close to the pass pocket, thanks to Walter Jones, who also cleared ample running space for Sean Alexander. Once unleashed, Seattle scored quickly and never looked back.
Sean gets it going straight ahead. Touchdown, Seahawks.
I don't want to get in a guessing game, you know? Let's just run our plays and do what we do.
Got him. Got him. Matt's going to pump fake. Looks to the middle of the field. He's got Stevens. Touchdown, Seahawks. Matthew drops back 5. Looks out to the right flat. He has Alexander. Touchdown, Seahawks.
They can't block it. You're going to be free every time on that.
The Seahawk defense shut down any player wearing Colts colors.
Georgie again on first down. This time he's in trouble. The ball is picked off. Down the sidelines goes Craig Terrell.
He picks that ball off out of the air, bobbles it himself. It's like a hot potato, but he takes it down the field and gets it to the 17-yard line. First down for the Seahawks.
The Seahawks can pad some stats and really put this thing away.
He's trying to drop that. I wasn't going to drop it. You switch your hands.
All that remained was Alexander's chance at history. Within sight, the NFL touchdown record.
Classy move by Mike Holmgren to put him back into the football game.
63 counter, and knock him back.
Sean the lone setback. He gets it going left. He dives over. Touchdown, Seahawks. And Sean Alexander ties the record of Priest Holmes. 27 touchdowns in a season, and we've still got a game to play.
One record that was set, Seattle's 13th win, the most in the franchise's 30-year history.
A perfect season here at Quest Field. And another win, an 11th straight victory. Uh-oh, coach just got it. They got him with the bucket of water. It was Robbie Tobeck. I don't know that we've ever seen Mike Holmgren hit with a bucket, but Tobeck does it.
First of all, congratulations, man. Undefeated at home. Okay, best record in the NFC, and you have, we got to take them one at a time, but now the championship game has to come through Seattle. We've maybe earned some respect, maybe not. To really earn the respect that you should have, okay, what do we got to do? We got to win the whole damn thing, right?
Returning to the town where he earned a championship, Mike Holmgren entered the final game of the regular season with 3 goals. The first, get Sean Alexander the league rushing title. By halftime, the rushing crown was salted away, as was Holmgren's second goal, Alexander's touchdown scoring milestone.
Sean gets it going left. He gets outside. Touchdown, Seahawks. And hand number 37 the record. Sean Alexander with 28 touchdowns this season. His name goes into the NFL record books. Congratulations, Sean.
Holmgren's final goal was avoiding injuries prior to the playoffs. With reserves finishing out the game, the Seahawks entered the postseason healthy and ready to make good on the promise their coach had made nearly 7 years earlier when he first arrived in the Pacific Northwest.
And now it's my job to come in here and do everything in my power to get the Seahawks to the Super Bowl.
The regular season, best in team history, was over, but greater glory lay ahead as the Seahawks stormed into the playoffs. Concealed in the rain clouds so familiar to Seattle citizens was a bright optimism that this would finally be their year to march into sunlight. With league MVP Sean Alexander leading the way, the Seahawks hope to ride his powerful legs to Super Bowl 40. Rain had fallen for 24 straight days, and it had been 21 years since Seattle won a playoff game. Bad omens turned into brutally bad luck in the first quarter.
And Sean is down on the ground right now. He might be hurt. This could be huge if he's hurt in this ball game.
And now he is to his feet, but he's going to be helped off the field, and he just looks wobbly. He looks groggy.
Without Alexander, it would fall to other Seahawks to save their season.
Beautiful punt by Tommy Ruin. Antonio Brown, the speedster, makes the catch at his own 12, and he is buried. Jordan Babineau just drills it. Stitches may be needed.
Seattle's special teams kept the Redskins pinned back in their own territory. The Seahawk defense made certain they would stay there. For the better part of 3 quarters, Washington's offense was held to a single field goal.
Hey, take a look at the board! 74 yards! Nice game plan!
Hey, that's a great start. That's what we got to do, man. We got to keep it going now. Remember, we got to win third down all day.
Seattle's fate rested in the hands of Matt Hasselbeck. His best deep threat was Darrell Jackson, who had missed 10 games during the regular season. D-Jack shook off the injury rust and exploded for 9 catches, 143 yards, and the game's first touchdown.
Matt's going to throw. Looks to the end zone. Got Darrell Jackson. Touchdown, Seahawks! Holy smoke, Darrell Jackson!
And that is one of the most toughest passes to defend when you're running stride for stride with the receiver. Matt Hasselbeck throws it his back shoulder. Darrell Jackson turns around and goes to the ground and makes a diving catch in the end zone for the go-ahead touchdown.
Seattle had ridden Alexander to a division title. Now it was Hasselbeck who would carry them to the conference championship.
He runs to the right side. Touchdown, Seahawks!
We are seeing the evolution of Matt Hasselbeck today. He has really taken this game into his own hands. He's making plays all over the football field with his legs, with his arms. What a game Matt Hasselbeck is having today.
The Seahawks led comfortably until a lucky bounce revived Redskins' hopes.
Into the end zone, deflected into the hands of Santana Moss. Touchdown, Redskins.
Seattle's lead had shrunk to a touchdown, but help was on the way from an unlikely hero.
Here we go. The 12th man. They've done their part today. Heaven knows.
This is a huge third down right now.
The single setback is Max Strong. Safety blitz coming. Matt gets it. He breaks through. Stiff arms him in. There he goes. Inside the 40, 35, 30. Max Strong to the 20-yard line. The All-Pro. Max Strong with the run of his life.
The guy's in the Pro Bowl for the first time in his 13-year career. He's been blocking for Sean all year long for an MVP player, and he's the guy that comes up with the big play of this football game, a huge 32-yard run just when they needed it.
The longest run in Seahawks playoff history set up the game-clinching field goal. 21 years of postseason failure had finally ended.
And the Seahawks are going to win. Seattle championship game right here at Quest Field in a week.
You worked hard, and today's game was very indicative of the type of year we've had, the type of team we have. You know, we're battling, stuff happens, you overcome adversity. It's just awesome to see. You're a pleasure to coach, okay, and I'm inspired. I'm inspired by how you play sometimes, and today was a great example of that. This is as fine a team type of effort as I've ever been associated with. So thank you very, very much.
In the first conference championship game ever played in Seattle, the NFL's loudest fans were more than ready to create an ear-splitting environment.
It's our third home game in the playoffs. No matter where we go, it's a home game. So we finna take this over like we took the rest of them over. All this hollering don't mean nothing. It's our house.
Hey, everything you daydreamed about as a kid was to be in this game right here, right now. We're going to win it up front, both sides of the ball. Let's go, lines on three. 1, 2, 3.
For 30 years, the Seahawk faithful had prayed for a title. Now, minutes before kickoff, the man who rescued the franchise from oblivion would hoist the 12th man colors. Blue Thunder crescendo was overwhelming. The men in Carolina blue didn't stand a chance. Beating the Panthers meant taking receiver Steve Smith out of the game. Seattle jammed him at the line of scrimmage before releasing him into specially designed coverages. By the time Smith broke free, the Seahawks had already punctured the pass pocket. On their second drive of the day, Seahawks backup quarterback Seneca Wallace burned the Panthers after lining up as a wide receiver.
Now he's going to let it fly. That's Seneca Wallace. What a great catch! Seneca Wallace inside the 20-yard line. And Seneca Wallace beats Kenny Lucas and makes a great over-the-shoulder catch. Matthew play fake. Looks down the middle of the field. Touchdown, Seahawks! Jeremy Stevens with the catch.
What a great throw and a great catch by Jeremy Stevens. At 6'7", he went up there and used all of his arm lift to get that football.
For one of the best defenses in the National Football League, Matthew and company are just carving him up.
The Panthers kept looking for Steve Smith. No surprise to the Seahawks.
Now he steps up, throws to the middle of the field. It's intercepted to Tupu. He's inside the 30, to the 25 on the far right side of the field. Knocked down at the 20-yard line.
Lopez and Tupu reading Jake DeLong's eyes all the way. Tried to throw that ball on the deep dig route, trying to go for Steve Smith.
No, he had a triple coming and you step back and thank you.
Then the Panthers tried to run.
Seattle on top, 10-0, 2:23 to play in the first. The Seahawks defense has been spectacular thus far. Pitch to Goings. He's coming to the right side, jumps over a man, and then is blasted. He is knocked to the turf big time.
He went head-to-head there and just got splattered.
I wasn't sure who hit who, but I saw Nick Goings was the last one to get up, and he was groggy when he did.
Goings was gone. Now Carolina would be forced to throw on nearly every down.
Looks in the middle of the field, dumps it off, ball is picked up. The stands are actually shaking right now from the fans. They have picked off Jake DeLong for the second time in the first quarter.
Way to go, man. Way to go, man. Way to go.
Sean Alexander had fully recovered from the previous week's concussion. Now he was the one causing headaches.
Sean Alexander that time, when he gets a little bit of running room, makes people miss. Is Sean Alexander ready to play? Yes, sir, he is. To turn the hand to Sean. He pushes ahead. Touchdown, Seahawks! And the Seahawks have jumped out to a 17-0 lead.
Oh, man. You can't win for losing, bro. You got a touchdown. Let them go, baby. They'll handle anything they want. They get one play, just don't let them in the end zone, okay? That's it. Keep going.
After being left for dead, the Panthers suddenly got life.
The Seattle crowd has just seen what they think is a block in the back on Vinny Churchill.
The original call was for an illegal Carolina block. Surprisingly, the officials reversed their decision and ruled no foul on the play, narrowing Seattle's lead to 10.
We're 30 minutes away, you understand? We had one mistake, and other than that, we're playing perfect. Got it?
Seattle's offensive line continued to push Carolina defenders aside, and Alexander was on his way to 132 rushing yards.
Entire Carolina defense out there, and Sean Alexander and the offensive linemen are shredding him right now.
Then rejuvenated Darrell Jackson continued his postseason brilliance by breaking free for his second score of the playoffs.
Chants of Super Bowl from the Seattle fans here. They can smell blood now. It's
They
here.
can smell it. Noise in here is just deafening.
The Panthers could barely hear, and their offense remained silent. Under constant pressure, Carolina quarterback Jake Delhomme completed only a handful of passes while continuing to cough up the football.
Delhomme going to throw. Got time. Throws. Picked off. Jake Delhomme has thrown his third pick of the day.
And he is thoroughly confused right now with what the Seahawks are doing in the secondary.
Seattle was anything but confused.
Sean Alexander now the lone setback. He gets it going straight ahead. Touchdown Seahawks!
I don't think this team can come back. I think we're going to Detroit, partner.
It's a celebration of the Seattle Seahawks dismantling of the Carolina Panthers.
Seattle, you've waited 3 decades. The time is here. We're all going to the Super Bowl.
I've waited 30 years for this. It's worth the wait. I'm headed to Detroit City, honey.
Going to the Super Bowl, baby. That's the kind of rain we want. They say it rain in Seattle. It rain in blue and green.
There aren't words to describe this, other than in 2 weeks, you won't even believe it. You won't even believe it.
Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip!
And now what we have to do is we have to finish this thing. Okay? We're going against a fine, fine football team in Pittsburgh. We know that. So we have our work cut out for us. But let's go in there and try and finish it, okay?
Let's get Detroit on 3. 1, 2, 3. Detroit!
And a pleasant good afternoon from Detroit, Michigan, where the Seahawks are set to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers in Super Bowl 40. And when you're playing this late in the season, that means you're really playing for something, and today it is for all of the marbles.
Guys, it's moments like these that come just a few times in your life. Not just because of football, but moments like this. Cherish it, and let's go get this thing. Let's go get it.
Only a handful of names on Seattle's roster had ever played in a Super Bowl. But within each Seahawk was a feeling of quiet confidence that they belonged on pro football's grandest stage.
We get it today. We take it today.
I'm going to walk out there and go to my left. You go around, don't run me over. Yeah, that's that way it's left.
Mike Holmgren had pointed the way all season long, but now he would have to orchestrate without a partisan chorus behind him. Seahawk loyalists were outnumbered by Steelers fans, who had traveled the short distance from Pittsburgh to Detroit. The black and gold boosters saw Super Bowl 40 as both a coronation and a farewell to future Hall of Famer Jerome Bettis. Yet the pregame pandemonium did not bother Seattle's quarterback.
It's now a good time to pick a booger in my nose. It's like right there at the left nostril.
New England quarterback Tom Brady to conduct the coin toss.
Oh, I see you, TB. What's up with you picking the Steelers?
Brady was not alone. None of the experts and virtually nobody outside of the Pacific Northwest gave the Seahawks a chance to win.
Tonight's about the guy next to you, taking that final step up the mountain, baby. Let's come out of here chill.
The flashbulbs go off, and Super Bowl 40 is underway.
Steelers Nation expected a well-choreographed route. What they got was textbook West Coast offense, Seahawks style.
What you're seeing right now is the way the West Coast offense is meant to be run. It's a quick rhythm offense.
Quick drop, quick slant pass caught. Darrell Jackson turns outside at the 30, tripped up as he crosses the 30.
So far, the Steelers have not found an answer for number 82, Darrell Jackson.
Pittsburgh alone couldn't stop D-Jack. It would take a little push.
Play fake to Shaw. Matt's going to throw. Looks to the end zone. Now he scrambles. Has some running room. Now he fires to the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks! Darrell Jackson. Now I see a flag. Did a flag come out back there?
A late flag came out, and I think they're going to say Darrell might have done.
Did he push
in the
off?
end zone. I don't know if he pushed up.
Pass interference, number 82.
Oh. Darrell Jackson about 6 yards deep in the end zone and tried to make a little room for himself and pushed off.
Ooh, that was a ticky-tacky call. Steelers just dodged the bullet there. Now, the official might have saw Darrell Jackson extend his arm, but there was pushing for both sides.
But it was a very little push. I don't know how you call that. Matt scrambled out of the pocket, went up inside, and D-Jack tried to uncover himself in the end zone. It was just a little bitty push.
Well, we're the underdogs not only to the national press and to the fans, but maybe the underdogs to the referees as well. Who knows?
Hey, when this thing's over, I want to talk to the back judge and Bill. Okay, please.
Seattle settled for a Josh Brown field goal, and the Seahawks had the first points of Super Bowl 40.
We got to make sure we tackle. One guy hits it, one guy rips. We got to ramp and rip. We got to get the ball back, okay?
Pittsburgh's offense had ripped through all comers in the AFC playoffs, but they didn't make a single first down against Seattle's defense until well into the second quarter. After another of many defensive stops, the special teams appeared to put the Seahawks in excellent field position.
Warwick backs all the way up to his own 20. Now he looks to start. Here he comes. Makes a man miss. He gets him behind the wall. He's got some room. He's across the 35, the 40. Makes a man miss. Sidesteps another. He's out over midfield. Players are down all over the place, but so is a flag.
Seattle lost critical yardage, then missed a prime opportunity to widen its lead.
Back is tight behind Hasselbeck. He wants to throw it on third and short. Throws it down the field. It's caught first down. And the ball is loose. Is it an incomplete pass? It is at the 25.
Jeremy Stevens has got to bring that football down, and this is the biggest game of the year because that puts you deep down inside of the red zone, and you got a chance to score more points.
He put his helmet right on the ball. There's no question. Take that thing away. Don't worry about it, okay? Let's get after their ass.
Just as quickly, the Seahawk defense got the ball back.
Ben's going to throw. Ware's back. Lets it fly down the sideline, the right side. Boulware's there and makes the interception at the 15-yard line. Michael Boulware leaping high, pulling the ball down, and it's the Seahawks ball back. They stop the Steelers' drive.
Pittsburgh's vaunted offensive machine was being dismantled piece by piece. The underrated Seahawk defenders were confusing and abusing quarterback Ben Roethlisberger.
Ben turns, play fakes, looks downfield, he's hit, he's dropped. At the 40-yard line, it's Grant Wistra, who is shot out of a gun, gets around Marvell Smith, the tackle, for an 8-yard loss and a huge sack.
This kind of knocks them out of field goal range right now.
Seattle had the Steelers right where they wanted them. But on 3rd and 28, the Seahawks uncharacteristically let Pittsburgh off the hook.
He's going to run to his left and settle. Look for an open man. He's going to fire it down the field. The pass will be caught at the 3-yard line. First down, Pittsburgh.
2 Steeler tries in the red zone failed, bringing on 3rd and goal. Another Seahawks stop and game momentum would swing back in their favor.
3rd and goal at the 1. A bootleg left, and Ben dives for the goal line, and he's going to be caught short of the... No! It's a touchdown, Pittsburgh! Ben hit the chalk, bootlegging on the keeper left. He followed the bus and Dan Kreider off the left side, and he got to the chalk and got it in for the score.
The officials ruled the ball had broken the plane. Seattle's bench thought otherwise.
That ball never crossed the goal line.
We're inside of 2 minutes, so Coach Holmgren doesn't have to argue the call. It is going to be automatically replayed.
It's not even close, I'm telling you, it's not even close. They'll turn it over. I know, but hell.
It's Mike Holmgren giving headlinesman Mark Hittner a choice words in front of the Seattle bench.
Well, Mike Holmgren's telling one of the officials over on the sideline it wasn't even close. When he hit the ground, the ball was short of the end zone, and then he put the ball over the end zone.
No, that ain't no touchdown. No, that's no touchdown. Bring that back.
Bill Levy has the lowest rate of overturned calls over a 3-year period. 23%.
That ball looked like hit the right line.
I don't think it did. After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
The Seahawks were seething, but understood the best way to respond was to strike back with a score of their own. In the final moments of the first half, they nearly did.
Matthew drops back 5. He looks right, pump fakes, throws deep to D-Jack down the right sideline. Is he in? No, he's out of bounds. At the pylon, he is out of bounds. So say the officials. A beautiful pass by Matthew over the top, but Darrell Jackson, they say, did not get both feet in.
Seattle missed its chance for a touchdown as the half ended. Pittsburgh seized their scoring opportunity on the second snap of the 3rd quarter.
And they hand it to Willie Parker. Finds a lane. He's on his way. Look out. Foot race, 45-50. Willie Parker, 75 yards. And this place is a Steeler maniac's haven.
The Steelers' lead ballooned to double digits, coinciding with the suddenly boastful remarks from Pittsburgh linebacker Joey Porter.
Hey, Porter's a coward, man. That's all he is. He don't say a word the first half. They get a little lead. He starts talking. He's going to take his ass out. He ain't done it.
All week leading up to Super Sunday, Porter had spewed trash talk against the Seahawks. But between the lines, he had no impact on the course of the game. Porter finished with 3 meaningless tackles and was mysteriously absent whenever Seattle ran the ball to his side. But one Steeler the Seahawks couldn't stop was Hines Ward. A pair of 3rd quarter catches helped get Pittsburgh close enough for a score that would put a stranglehold on the game.
Come on, baby, let's go!
Unless Seattle's defense made a stand, the competitive phase of Super Bowl 40 would be over.
Seahawks need to stop right here. Ben's going to throw. Drops back 5. Dumps one out of the flat. It's picked off. Down to the 10, the 15. He could go. The 30, the 40. Herndon has it. He's across the 40, the 30. He stumbles. 25, 20. Knocked down. 77-yard return of the interception.
That is a huge play in this football game because they needed something like that to happen in the game to change the momentum. Now, instead of being down 17-3 or 20-3, they have a chance to score points. Now they need to get this ball in the end zone. Great play by Kelly Herndon.
Holy smoke.
Bottom line, we got the field position. We got to get a score here. Hey, that's a hell of a job, man. That's the way to fight your ass again.
Momentum and a score were Seattle's for the taking.
Play fake. Matt looks. A lot of time. Throws to the right side. Got a man wide open. Touchdown. Seahawks are right back in it.
Wow, what a swing this is.
The Steelers' best defender, Troy Polamalu, was neutralized by Darrell Jackson's crossing route, leaving Jeremy Stevens wide open.
And right when you think the Steelers were starting to put the boots to Seattle, clearly swung to the other side of the field. They're back in the ball game now.
And Super Bowl 40 is a game again.
Late in the third quarter, the Seahawks found themselves buried beneath the shadows of their own goalpost. The road to a championship would not be easy, but it was clear. 98 yards straight ahead through Pittsburgh's formidable defense. The Seattle offense moved with striking precision. On this drive, they sported the look of a champion.
If you can block against these 3-4 looks, they're going to have guys wide open because their secondary, I think, is the weakest part of their defense, and they're having a lot of confusion back there with all the crisscrossing of the routes by the Seahawk receivers.
Chains keep moving, and the Seahawks are rolling.
Momentum had swung. The Seahawks had swagger, self-confidence, and only 19 yards to the end zone.
Remember, this drive started at their own 2, the 11th play of the drive for the Seahawks. 1st and 10 at the 19. Matt, play fake, he's in trouble. Now he throws down the middle of the field. Down to the 1-yard line is Jeremy Stevens. Oh my goodness, it's coming back. A flag is down.
Very untimely penalties today. From that time, Sean Locklear got that arm out against Higgins, and they're going to call that every time.
And I'm telling you what now, the Seahawks, if they had bad luck, it would be better than what they've had so far today. Every time they've made a play, it's been called back.
The penalty which was called wasn't as upsetting to the Seahawks as the one which wasn't. Seattle was convinced that Pittsburgh linebacker Clark Higgins had been offsides before any holding could have even occurred. The ruling impacted Seattle's chances more than any other call of the night. Conversely, in the final 35 minutes of game action, there were no penalties called against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Seahawks tried to dig out of their long yardage hole, but the damage had been done. 2 plays later, Seattle's most promising drive of the game ended badly.
On 3rd and 18, Matt's going to throw. Looks over the seam and throws an interception. It's inside the 10-yard line. Ike Taylor comes out to the 20, the 25. He's hit and tackled by Matt Hasselbeck. Great tackle on Ike Taylor on the near sidelines. And now a flag comes in. Let's see what all the commotion is about. The flag goes down, and here's Bill Levy.
Foul. Block below the waist. Number 8 of the passing team.
What? He made a tackle. He got around him and made the tackle, for heaven's sakes. It's a great play. What a bad call. Penalty is put in, mostly so defensive players don't tear the knees out of offensive players and blockers. Now you can't even make a tackle on an interception?
The Steelers took quick advantage of their improved field position.
And they pitch it to the left, and now here's the handoff on the reverse to Antoine Randall. He's going to throw it down the field. There's a man open. Touchdown, Pittsburgh!
The Steeler lead was back to 11, but the Seahawks weren't quite ready to fold up their tent.
SK, keep your head up, man. Yeah. There's a lot of time now. God damn it, we got time to go. So don't you put your hat. Don't go on the tape. We gotta go. We gotta go, EP. You got it?
Hasselbeck is straight back. Now scampers out of the pocket. The Steelers hem in on him. He jukes a man out, gets positive yardage. First down over the 25, the 30. He fumbles the ball. Was it the ground that caused the fumble?
He was down.
I think the officials are looking. We got a man establishing the line of scrimmage. No, the Steelers have it.
Nobody touched him.
The officials say that he fumbled the ball and the Pittsburgh recovered, as a number of these calls have just gone badly against the Seahawks today. And if this one goes against Seattle, then I don't know what you got to do.
Well, I'll just leave the booth and I'll hit home.
Good heavens.
The Seahawks challenged, and the replay showed that linebacker Larry Foote touched Hasselbeck, forcing him down by contact. The original call was reversed, but the drive soon ended. By the time Seattle regained possession, precious little time remained in Super Bowl 40.
Matt drops back. He looks downfield, has some time. Over the middle, Juravicius has it. At midfield, the 45 runs over a man. To the 40-yard line is Joe Juravicius. He has not given up yet.
This time, though, there would be no miracle finish.
And the magic carpet ride for the Seattle Seahawks ends here in Detroit. The Seahawks have absolutely nothing to hang their heads about. Sure, they're disappointed about this loss, but what a year. Fans, you have seen a great season of football out of this team, and you're going to see a lot more in the days ahead. They fought tooth and nail to this Steeler team all the way to the bitter end. And even though they come out on the short end of this thing, this team is going to be around for a while, and they will have to be answered to next season.
This NFL Films production has been brought to you by NFL Network. Watch the National Football League 24 hours a day on NFL Network.